Hey, welcome to Live Lessons. I'm Steve Krenz. We are here from Nashville, Music City, USA, and we are so honored to have with us the great, the incomparable, Johnny Hiland. Johnny, thank you so much.
Such a pleasure, Steve.
For being here with us. It's going to be a great night. I can already tell it. It's going to be a great night. If you can, hey, type in where you're from. This is always fun for me. I see Puerto Rico coming by, Birmingham, Alabama, Columbus, Massachusetts, New York, California, North Carolina, San Antonio, my hometown.
Cool.
Nacogdoches, Texas. Oh, man, they're coming too fast now. Sanderson, Texas. All these Texas guys on here. Oregon, there we go. Los Angeles. Anybody from overseas? Is that Lisbon, Portugal, I see go by? England, Kenworth, England. It's 2 in the morning. What are you doing watching us? What are you doing here?
Those are my hours, man. You're keeping my hours.
Hey, Concord, North Carolina. Okay, look at all this fun. Kenilworth, England. I haven't even heard of that place. Florence, Italy. There we go. We have one of our guests here that's watching in the studio tonight. Federico is from Italy as well. So I'm glad all of you guys are here. It's going to be a great night. This is kind of our Christmas special. So we're honored that Johnny can be with us. If you want to be, we're going to be giving away stuff along the way. If you want to be a part of the giveaways, and tonight we're giving away a couple of Johnny CDs. We're also giving away an Epiphone electric guitar pack. So one of you lucky folks is going to win an Epiphone electric guitar. What you need to do is be logged in at ustream.tv. And that helps us know that you're there. We can then see you there, and then we'll pick a name and go from there. So anyway, to get us started off with on our Christmas special, Johnny and I have worked extensively on an arrangement of the Christmas classic, Frosty the Snowman, and we've practiced it all of about 90 seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you hear any notes you don't know why, we probably don't know them either. So it's all good. We'll figure it out. snowman.
There you go. There you go. What a wonderful way to start off the lesson.
That's
man,
fun.
Johnny, it's always great having you here.
Man, such a pleasure, Steve. It really is, man. And what a wonderful holiday to celebrate, you know?
That's right. I was trying to think. You've been with us at least... I think this is your third time on live lessons with us.
Yes, it is, man. And always a pleasure being here, Steve.
Last time was well over a year and a half ago, back in March of 2012. You were with us.
Wow, it's been that long.
It's been that long.
Oh, my
goodness.
goodness.
You were with us, I think, the year before that as well.
Right. We did all the wah pedals. That was fun.
And we did all the wah pedals at that time.
Yes, we did.
For those who may not be familiar with your whole story, kind of tell us how you got started playing guitar.
Well, you know, man, I grew up in a real small town in rural Maine, little place called Woodland, Maine. Yeah. And now it's referred to as Baileyville, and real nice small town, good place for a legally blind boy to grow up, you know. And of course, I had a dad that, even though I was legally blind, he still had snowmobiles and four-wheelers and everything for me to ride. But the one thing that I really was gifted with was the inspiration and motivation and dedication to just want to play musical instruments. Yeah. So I actually played 22 instruments. Wow. But guitar happens to be my favorite. So.
Well, and we're glad that you picked it.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, it's an instrument that really, being a handicapped kid, you know, the guitar actually became my best friend. It really did. And so I have an emotional attachment to these little girlfriends, and I tell people I had to marry Miss Kimmy, man, because I have too many girlfriends in the closet. You know?
That's right.
So, but you know, it's
did you come from a big family? Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have one brother and one sister, and my grandpa John Hiland, who I was named after, played guitar in the 30s, actually, on the radio.
Really?
And he had an old 1939 J45 that I still have to this day. It's a beautiful guitar.
Wow.
And then, of course, my dad played drums in the 60s, and, of course, my mom's dad played a little piano and guitar, but no one ever really took it to the extreme like I have, you know, and so it was a new thing for my family, something very interesting and fun, and, you know, from the time I was 4 years old, I was, you know, bringing $400 or $500 a week home from doing family reunions and parties, and then I did my first TV show at age 7 and won Talent America at age 10. And,
wow.
You know, and then, of course, my dad wanted me to be the normal high school student, so I played in rock bands and country bands up in Maine until I hit 21. And after 3 years at the University of Southern Maine, I moved to Nashville, man, and then hit Lower Broadway and all the honky-tonks and ended up in the Don Kelly Band, which everybody knows. If you ever get to Nashville, Don is definitely one of the men in Nashville that's always had the best lineage of great guitar players, so to be in his band was an honor, really.
And you were, and that when did you come to town?
1996.
96.
I've been here a long time, man.
Were y'all married by then?
No. I met Miss Kimmy actually from Roberts when I was playing with Don. Believe it or not, she used to come in a lot and see us, and there's a long story about how she and I connected, but it was neat, and it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me was being married to my lovely wife. So
that's right.
So outside of picking guitar, man, Miss Kimmy and I have we've never had any children because our lives are too busy. Yeah. You know, with me playing guitar on the road, and of course she's working full time. So we have 2 little dogs, Buddy and Ella, who get most of the attention in the house. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, how did you get hooked up into Don's band?
You know, it's funny. We had
into that band.
Well, you know, we had the big tornado. Remember in '98?
Oh, yeah, I heard about it.
And I was playing a couple of different clubs, you know, and Don had heard about me through a mutual friend named Mr. Ron Lutrick, who was playing bass in Don's band at the time.
Who you currently play bass with.
Who Ronnie plays bass with me now, yeah. And he's a wonderful friend and monster bass player and great singer, man. Yeah. And so Ronnie actually told Don about me, and, of course, they cornered me at that point. But interesting story. I was in Roberts one night after playing a gig, and I can't remember who was playing guitar that night, but their car broke down on the highway. Yeah. And Don said, Johnny, you got your guitar, son? And I said, no. And he goes, well, come up here and play mine. Would you help me out? And I said, of course. And so that really kind of spawned the whole relationship between me and Don. And
that's the stuff.
And then, of course, from Don Kelly's
there.
gig, spawned Gary Chapman coming in and having me on Primetime Country, and meeting my first manager, Mr. Mac Wilson, and then signing on with Vi's label, and then moving on from there. So my career, I didn't really know that. I love every aspect of guitar, Steve. Right. I love teaching, and I love. Doing master classes. I love doing the clinic kind of thing. And so I've delved into every aspect of my career that I could to be an all-around guitar player, not just the guy that, you know, you go see at a show and then you never hear from him, you know. Yeah. So with what you guys do here at Legacy, man, I'm so tickled to be a part anytime.
Well, I'm just so thrilled with Johnny's such a versatile player. I mean, you're kind of known for the Chickin Pickin thing, but
right.
you did that incredible project with Steve Vai, and you did the rock project there, Loud and Proud.
Yes.
And a great project. You can get it off of Johnny's website as well as all the rest of his stuff too.
Which, by the way, I have a brand new website, folks. So if you get a chance to go to JohnnyHiland.net,
JohnnyHiland.net.
Come on there and have some fun. I've got Amos the Road Dog up there now, and there's all kinds of interactive fun things on my site. And I want to take the time and thank Mr. Chris McLaughlin for all his help in making that site possible.
We had, they're already asking about your guitar.
Oh, well,
Tell us about your guitar and kind of run it through its paces.
Well, you know, y'all are getting me, you know, I love talking about my baby here. So this is actually the second silhouette that MusicMan had sent me. And for, you know, a silhouette, honestly, Steve, is a guitar I wish I had discovered way back when I was young. Because I would have played them all along. You know, most people have seen me with a Telecaster, and then I switched into Paul Reed Smith for a while. And, you know, the Paul Reed Smith stuff and Fender stuff, you know, guys, I have a collection of guitars that I absolutely love. But the MusicMan guitars, for me, have the skinniest necks, the best feel, and, of course, they come stock. Even at you know, when you go to a local music store and buy a MusicMan, they come with lock-in tuners, a compensated nut, really nice, comfortable body styles, really well-balanced guitar.
It's a 24 fret.
24 fret, which this is the thing, folks, that really sets these guitars apart for me. Being as versatile as Steve, you know, says I am, I need more frets and more frets and more frets, and I need access to a tremolo where I can dive bomb if I want to.
Well, take us through its paces.
Well, you know what, man? It's funny because I actually started working with Mr. Billy Magella from Electric City Pickups this year. Matter of fact, a few months ago. So we have now these are brand spanking new, Steve.
They sound incredible.
You guys here are the first people to ever really see these. So I'm really proud of these pickups. And yeah, I mean, for what I have here, Steve, in the bridge is like an old broadcaster pickup. Yeah. So I got all that Chickin Pickin. You know. And then, of course, within this guitar as well, I have a 5-way switch like a Strat, so I have the nice creamy Strat tones. Roll that off a little. So, and also, folks, I have a brand new wiring harness in this guitar made by Martin 6-String Customs, which is martin6stringcustoms.com, and my harness is so different, Steve, because I've changed the switching.
Yeah, I was trying to think. It's not.
And so what I've done is I have a 5-way switch like a Strat, but I never really use the 4th position much. So essentially now in my harness that you folks can go to the website and check out, it actually positions 1, 3, and 5 are like a Telecaster.
Okay.
So you heard the bridge pickup. If you go to the middle pickup, it's more like a middle Telecaster sound. It's nice and warm, you know. But if you go to the 4th position now, it's just the middle Strat pickup by itself.
Oh, okay.
So you can. It's a little spankier, you know. And then, of course, I have my normal neck pickup for. You know, for the blues and the jazz stuff. So it's an awesome guitar, man. I love this baby. And, of course, these are new Johnny Hiland knobs even. Martin 6-String Customs does these for me.
You know you're big when you have your own knobs. You know, that's all I can say.
I do.
Someday I can only hope to have my own knob.
You know, but I'm so thrilled. You know, honestly, folks, there's some great, fantastic companies in the world that know how to take care of an artist, and I am very, very blessed, and I really am. But yes, I love my baby, man. She's a great guitar.
Well, it sounds great. Tell us about some of your pedals that you have down here as well, and kind of give us some sounds that you're.
Yeah, man. Well, I have your basic setup, Steve. This is kind of my all-around road pedal board that I use in the studio as well. So it's great. It's effective in both areas, you know. And of course, I have a Brad Jetter Redshift pedal down here, which gives me all my rock tones. So if I want to rock out, I can use that.
Wow, that sounds incredible.
But what I love about this pedal is it's very, if you want it to become transparent, it can.
Yeah.
So when I'm playing blues and I want to roll my volume off and get more of a blues tone, and of course I have my guitar set up this way too, so I can use the middle pickup right next to the neck pickup. So you know, so it's really easy to get great blues tones and rock tones out of this pedal. Then, of course, the next pedal is the RC Booster from Exotic Pedals. This is a great pedal if you want to get a boost. So this just actually adds more gain to my clean tone.
Yeah.
But what I love about this pedal is it has a gain knob where you can actually add more gain. You know, so if I want to break up my tone, you know, I can do that. See how it's broken up?
Yeah.
Even on the clean tone.
Yeah.
So you know, so I can get some cool rockabilly tones with it and get more of that Danny Gatton stuff. And that's I'm a big Danny fan, so I love that pedal. The next pedal is an ISP decimator, which just cuts back on your noise.
Yep.
But it doesn't gate your sound.
Yeah.
So it doesn't cut off. I can hold a chord out as long as I want, and it won't cut it off. It'll keep ringing and ringing.
Yeah.
But it just takes all the excess noise out of your amp, which is an unbelievable pedal. And even folks, when I use a Pedal Train Mini, a little tiny board, I will not go without the ISP decimator. It's a must-have. Then I have a wonderful relationship with the folks at Hardwire Pedals.
Yep. And
I'm using their Tremolo here. You know, it's got a great tone for... You know, to do some of the pretty stuff. But I've got it set pretty, you know, pretty open-ended, kind of like the old 50s style Trem. Yep. And then on the top, I've got a delay pedal, which is great. You know, it's made by Hardwire as well, and that's all you can hear the, you know, the delays I have. But what's so cool is it has so many different delay sounds in it that it's incredible. So there's a morph switch on each one of these pedals that you can really go, you know, hog wild with them if you want to have fun. Then, of course, I'm using the reverb pedal from Hardwire as well. So all the reverb that you hear, you know, that all comes out of that pedal. And then I have a Voodoo Lab power supply, a Pedal Power 2, powering everything. And then on the end here, I've got an Empress compressor.
What is that doing for you? Compressor.
Yeah, it's a compression pedal, and it's made by Empress. And the thing I love about this, Steve, is it actually has a blend knob, so I can blend my amp back in. So say I'm using a little too much compression and I want to, you know, just bring my amp tone back in, then I'm able to do that with one knob on this pedal, which makes it great. You know, great for studio purposes as well.
And what amp are you playing? Because I know they always ask about gear.
Well, so I'll tell you what, this is my baby, man. This is a CEC Johnny Hiland Signature Road Dog by CEC Amplification.
Are they here in Nashville?
You know, they are. They really are. And I think Craig lives out in Spring Hill, I believe, the gentleman that builds these. So it's
we can see it there.
Yeah, it's an awesome amp, and I just absolutely love it. It's, you know, we took almost a year to design this amp, Steve. It's incredible.
Wow.
But for most people to know really what the specs are or what makes it uniquely different, it's a 100-watt 212 combo with Celestion K100 speakers in it. All Onetics transformers, you know, the best components money can buy. But as far as running the amp, folks, it's real simple. It's one channel.
Yeah.
But you can break. It's got a EF86 in it, so you can break up. You can get more breakup if you want to, like that Danny Gatton tone.
Yeah.
But then it offers 3 different delay setting or reverb settings, and the first one happens to be a rockabilly delay. So you can have fun with this amp even if you don't use a board.
Well, it gets an amazing sound.
Thank you. It's a fun rig, Steve. It really is.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your technique. You're known for doing kind of the hybrid chicken picking.
Yes.
Talk to some of the folks that are just kind of interested in picking up that style. Kind of show a little bit of what you're doing with that.
Well, you know, man, the chicken picking style, as I like to call it, it's amazing because you can actually mix it with so many other genres.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about the country style of guitar. Most people think, oh, you know, it's a hick style or it's a hillbilly style or redneck style, and well, you know, I guess I epitomize all of those things, but at the same time, you can really blend them well with your blues scales and blues techniques, and of course even some jazz licks and stuff. So it's a real cool style. And what I'm using is I have acrylic fingernails on my middle and ring finger, and yes, folks, they're very long right now. They need doing bad. And of course, as I have told you in the past, Steve, it's fun because I go have these nails actually painted on. And so I have to go into the nail salon, if y'all can believe that. And I know all the little old ladies on a first-name basis and know when their husbands are going fishing. So it's pretty cool, you know. And, of course, they're great for scratching the wife's back, too. It's great.
Tell us about, because when we're talking about hybrid picking, you're picking. You've got your pick in your hand, between your first and your index finger, and then your second and third is what's given it these double stops. So you're able to pick, and then also have these two notes that are going up.
Well, and what's also great about that, Steve, is within that style, you actually can lay your palm down more on the bridge. Now, with a floating tremolo like mine, you don't want to lay it completely down.
Yeah.
But when you're picking fast, you have more palm control over how you mute the other strings or the unnecessary strings to hit while you're playing a fast line. So if I was playing a fast Chickin Pickin line, if you just watch my right palm here, I can play really fast, but you're not hearing any unneeded notes in there, you know? You know, it's real clean. So by laying my palm down, I'm able to mute the unnecessary strings. So it's a really cool style. And, of course, by using the fingernails, it keeps your hand more stationary. You're not really moving and trying to accomplish a lot. So you're able to keep, you know, a pretty close movement on the strings from your right hand perspective.
If someone wanted to get started in that style, are there any good resources that kind of show you some of the characteristic licks? Have you come across anything?
I actually teach an exercise to a lot of students that help with that. What I started, well, of course, I played 5-string banjo growing up as well, so I had the technique. But obviously, you wear a thumb pick and wear 2 finger picks on your index finger and middle finger. So actually, you know, switching, if you will, to holding a flat pick and then using the middle and ring finger was a little bit of a challenge. Yeah. But yet it was the same kind of rolling technique. So if you play a G position and just use the G, B, and E string to where your second and third fingers on the 3rd fret, B and E string, and you just use your first finger to roll off the second on the B string, then you have almost a banjo.
Right.
Now, it depends on how you want to roll that you can actually create more of a banjo sound.
Yeah.
But then again, there's an exercise that I love to show people that warms me up before a show, and it's a great exercise to use. Essentially, I'm using hammer-ons and pull-offs, and I might start on the 4th to 5th fret. So it's going to warm up the left hand and utilize the hybrid style on the right hand. And all I'm doing is I'm using my pick for the E string, and I'm hammering on from the 4th to 5th fret. And I'm going to do the same thing on the A string, but I'm going to pull up with my middle finger. And I'm going to go back to my pick for the D. Then pull up with my ring finger on the G. Then back to the pick. And then my middle finger gets the high E. And then I come back down with a flat pick. And then go from 1 to 3 now. Yeah. And do the same kind of exercise. But that will actually, like before a gig, you'll hear me with no amp just... It warms up all your fingers, and it warms up your right hand as well. Yeah. And so that is an exercise that I practiced over and over and over again to really get that hybrid style to where it was nice and fluent and consistent.
Another one of the techniques, Johnny, that I've just been so fascinated with your incredible playing is just your use of bends. Almost sounds like a steel guitar.
Absolutely. I'm a big steel guitar fan, man. I still to this day there's nothing better than a crying steel guitar.
Kind of show us some of those bends. Try and get some, show the gang.
Sure, man. Well, you know, there's a whole, you know, you basically start out, or what I started out with was the first kind of steel guitar full-on lick, you know, which is... Now, I'm using my volume knob to get a swell.
Now, what are you doing? You've got he's got his.
Essentially, my third and fourth finger are on the B and E string on the 5th fret, and then I'm using my second finger on the G string 4th fret, and I'm bending that up a whole tone.
So it's basically like he's in the key of A, and he's bending up from the 2 to the major 3rd there. And that's a very characteristic lick you'll see, you'll hear all the time with steel guitar stuff.
Well, and you know, the other thing that you have to really think of in playing this kind of, or doing these kind of bends, is that even when you approach it from a chordal perspective, you're instead of thinking of an A major chord, you're thinking of an A sus2 chord.
Right.
Because then you can actually take an A sus2 chord, right? And then you can bend that two or second note, if you will, up to a major 3rd.
And you're bending down, I noticed right there, rather than bending up.
Now, the cool thing is, when you try this technique, what's great is you can actually slip your middle finger in there, which will add pull strength. So when you're pulling down on the string, then what you have to practice is the preciseness of it, matching the note. Now, I have a floating trem in this guitar, so when I bend, you'll hear it drop a little bit. But see, I'm hitting that major 3rd, and you find where that is, which is here, and then you match that.
Yes.
Right? And then you can connect the lick that I just showed you. You can connect those two.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you go back to old Buck Owens records and Merle Haggard records, with Don Rich and Roy Nichols and those guys, and you hear a lick that sounds like this. Now, all I'm doing here is I'm kind of walking into the A note on the 5th fret, high E. Now, you can use your 4th finger if you want, but I prefer my 3rd because I'm going to reach up with my 2nd finger for the bend. So what I'll do is I'll reach up with my 3rd finger up to the 8th fret on the B string, and then once I hit that, I'm automatically thinking of my 2nd finger doing a whole tone bend from on the 7th fret G string. But if you can hear, I actually pre-bent it up there.
Yeah.
So then I release that bend. Okay, go to the C note, which is G string, 5th fret, and then end on the A note, 7th fret, D string. So that's always a good classic country lick that everybody loves. And now I'll show you guys one that I don't show many people. You know how in blues music, when you go something like that?
Yeah. Well,
don't be afraid to take that and then bend the G string a whole tone. Now, when you do that, it's a neat sounding bend, and twist your ear a little. And then when you release it, drop back down with your 3rd finger to the D note, 10th fret, E, and then bring it back to the 9th fret, making a major 3rd on the bottom of what your A chord would be, or A triad.
So what does that sound like all put together?
So say you're playing a... Thank you, Steve. Then you go... Now let's put it into context a little more where it sounds more like a chord. Now you can hear the full triad. Now what I'm doing there, folks, is I'm actually doing another steel guitar technique where I'm dropping the bend in between a couple of percussive hits with my fingernails, again, causing that chicken picking pop, if you will.
Yeah.
So I can... Now, this is a fun sounding lick.
Yeah.
Almost sounds like a car horn. But what I'm doing here is I'm actually on with my 3rd finger, I'm on the 9th fret, high E string. And then with my 1st finger, I'm on the 8th fret B string.
Yep.
And my 2nd finger, is on the 9th fret again on the G string. And I'm just pushing the G string up. Then I'm hitting twice with the fingernails. And then hitting the note in between that's already bent up. dropping the bend, and then pushing it right back up again. Hitting again twice with the fingers, and then in the middle note being the bent note.
Yep, yep, yep.
Drop the note again, and then right back up. And then hit once more with your fingers. And that makes a completed steel guitar lick. Real percussive and fun.
Yeah.
But if you put that in a country song, like... And to finish that off, folks, what I was doing was exactly what Steve was mentioning with double stops. And what are double stops? Two notes played simultaneously.
Yeah.
And you can do those everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, within the last year, folks, I want you to know, Steve and I are always growing as guitar players ourselves. Most people like to say, oh, well, they're doing legacy learning, so they got to be, great. Well,
no,
we always like to consider,
all the time.
We're real proud of what we're, considered, with the titles that we may have as far as who we are. But at the same time, we're constantly growing just like you guys.
Yeah.
So what I found is with double stops, I have been growing in my chord knowledge and finding triads I never knew existed based on double stops.
Yeah.
So when you play a major scale, learn it with double stops as well. So you can... Now I'm playing a major scale, an A major scale, right? But now we're going to play it with double stops. So now I'm going to actually use this in a double stringed way in explaining this, if I may. So we're on the 5th and 4th string now. 5th fret, low E, 4th fret on the A string. So I'm going to use the numbers will actually be referred to as frets. So we have 5 and 4, 7 and 5, 9 and 7. Now we're going to switch strings now to the A and D. So we're 5 and 4 again. 7 and 6. 9 and 7. Now going down to a new string set, D and G. So now we're on 6 and 4. 7 and 6. Let's keep it going. Why not? So now we're on 9 and 7. Moving down to the G and B. Now we're on 6 and 5. A bar on the 7, a bar on the 9. Now we're going down to the B and E string to finish it off. We're on 7 and 5, 9 and 7, and then 10 and 9.
Yeah.
Now, when you think of this scale, think of how many different triads are within that, Steve. There's a bunch.
Yeah.
And through accident, folks, this year, I've been having so much fun with different chordal triads. But now we've talked about bending a little bit prior to this scale that I just showed you. So let me show you what I've been doing as well with double stops.
Please.
Now, double stops continue everywhere. There's double stops everywhere. So even though I played... Right, well that double stop scale can continue horizontally. Now without 24 frets, have fun with that one.
Yeah.
But actually, the scale keeps going.
Yeah.
So what I have done is I go back to my bridge pickup, and I actually have come up with stuff like... with a bend behind the nut to finish it off, But I'm finding different steel guitar bending licks that I'm using, that I'm learning and picking up just based on my double stop knowledge.
Right.
So double stops are a very fun thing to get into, and don't be afraid to bend them around and have fun with them. That's the beauty behind it.
That's right. Amazing. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and type them in, and we will try and get to them. We're going to be answering a little bit more questions as we get to the second half of the broadcast. But before we do that, maybe we can play a little blues. Maybe
let's play some blues. Sure, man. Why not?
Maybe an E. We'll do kind of a slow blues sort of a thing.
I just showed you how the ISP works, folks, without even saying anything. Here's with a distortion pedal and a compressor on. Hear it?
Yep.
Gone. I love it. Pedals are so great. They make our lives nice, don't they, Steve? B?
B, or excuse, in E.
E, okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll let Johnny take a break for a second because you've been talking for 20 minutes now.
It's been great, man.
Wow, that was a lot of fun. We should do more of that. We should do more about that. All right, before we take a break and get a drink of water here on the set, I want to tell you about a couple of things that we've got going on for this month. Wow, it's hard to slip into resources mode after that. I just want to keep playing some more. Let's talk about some of the resources that we have. First of all, we've got your website.
Yes.
JohnnyHiland.net. And you've done, I was looking on there this afternoon, your CDs are there, but you also have several products yes. that you've done. I believe it's Tricks and Licks.
Licks and Tricks, yes.
Licks and Tricks series.
Yep.
You're getting ready to do a True Fire thing coming up.
That's what's next on the agenda for me, Steve. I'm really excited to be a part of the True Fire family now. You know, I'm actually going down next Monday and Tuesday. I'll be shooting my new guitar course with them, and folks, I'll tell you what, it's going to be really involved. Mm-hmm. Probably Christmas is a time for giving. So when I do this True Fire course, I'm just going to give it everything I have and just teach everything that I know. And you know, I may not be the best at knowing all my theory, but at the same time, you know, I have nothing to hide from people because guitar is such an individual thing that everyone's going to interpret it in their own way, and that's what makes guitar so wonderful.
Do you know when that's scheduled to come out?
I don't yet. No, I know that it'll be soon. It'll be soon
probably
after
that. Probably the spring. Sometime.
Yeah, probably early spring, I would say.
So lots of great resources out on Johnny's website. Please check those out. He's got a great store set up, great site, and you can get all kinds of things there that he's done over the years. You've done several things over the years.
I have,
different
man.
Things for
I have.
Mel Bay. One of the things that Johnny has done is a project that we did, Learn to Master Blues Guitar, and where I'm just kind of teaching basic blues concepts, a little bit about blues form and some bends and just how to play blues. And Johnny is one of our special guests on that.
That was a blast, man.
We talked, probably 30, 45 minutes. You talked about the hybrid picking technique. You talked about bends and some great things with that. That was and then Jack Pearson. From the Allman
Jack
Brothers.
Is awesome.
Jack was on that project as well. So if you're interested in that, check out the Learn to Master Blues guitar course. If you look underneath your Ustream window, it is the, I believe, the leftmost button, and it's blue, and that will get you to the blues guitar course that we have, and the guys have it on sale right now as well. So there you go. In fact, let's give away one of those. We're going to give away a blues guitar, Learn to Master Blues guitar course. We'll get you to autograph it.
Cool.
Before we go. So somebody is about to win this. The winner of this is Lawman DDS. Lawman DDS. You have just won Learn and Master Blues guitar, and congratulations.
Congrats,
what you need to do, Lawman, is send us in your information at service@legacyinstruction.com. Send us in your screen name, mailing address, things like that, phone number, so that we can get in contact with you and get this out to you. So that's always fun. Great. Okay, we're going to take a break just for about 60 seconds while we switch some things here on the set, and then we're going to come back and answer some of your questions before we get on out of here. So, all right, we'll see y'all on the other side. Hey there, Steve Krenz here, and I have some exciting news. We're finally finished with our brand new guitar course. You know, when we asked our students what they would most like to see from us next, it was overwhelming: fingerstyle guitar. So that's right, we've created fingerstyle guitar. Learn and Master Spotlight Fingerstyle Guitar is our newest addition to our line of guitar courses. This is the result of popular demand from our friends and followers, and I couldn't be more pleased with how it's turned out. You know, imagine sitting down with just you and your guitar and playing a solo fingerstyle arrangement of one of your favorites. You know, I created this course so you'll have the tools to do just that. We've got special guests, interviews, basic, intermediate, advanced lessons, and everything from traditional acoustic fingerstyle playing to arranging songs for solo guitar to classical jazz guitar, Merle Travis style picking with several stops musically in between. This is going to be a very thorough course, so get ready to take your guitar playing to an entirely new place. All right. Well, welcome back. Thanks for joining us here on the second half. If you have questions, go ahead and type them in, and then we will try and get to as many questions as we can in the last second half of the broadcast. I want to tell you about a couple of things. I have a new Christmas CD out that you can get from my website, stevekrenz.com. If you're looking for some good Christmas music to trim the tree, or do all that sort of stuff, or just have on around the house, check it out. Lots of good instrumental stuff, kind of more in a smooth jazz feel. Had lots of great players on it that were part of this as well. And so if you're interested in that, check it out. New Christmas Time CD. Had Kyle Jones, percussion player for Ricky Skaggs. You played with Ricky Skaggs.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Wonderful player.
And then, of course, Jeff Cox, bass-playing friend who plays bass for Earl Klugh. Sam Levine is on there, great horn player, plays with Michael McDonald and so many different folks. So there's a lot of great folks on that CD. Johnny, as well, has his CD all fired up. So we are going to give away one of these all fired up CDs.
Yeah, buddy.
We'll get you to sign this as well. Someone is about to win this CD. The winner of this is Popeye TSM.
Whoa, well, blow me down.
Popeye TSM, you just, well, Johnny, we'll get you to sign this too.
I'll be glad to, man.
Send us in your information, service@legacyinstruction.com, and we will get this out to you. Also wanted to let you know, we've been doing some Christmas songs. We'll do another Christmas song before we go. But one of the resources that we have this month, and I'm so excited that we're able to do this, we worked out a deal. We were able to get a deal on this book called the Real Christmas Book. So it's basically the Real Book, which is all the jazz standards are in the Real Book, but this one has Christmas songs, so it's like 150 Christmas tunes.
Wow.
Basically everything I could think of was in this book. You've got normal Christmas carols like Joy to the World and Angels We Have Heard on High, things like that, but you also have Frosty the Snowman and Up on the Housetop and things like that. So a great resource, and it comes with these play-along CDs. Let me see if I can grab them here. There's 9 CDs that come as part of this, and there's a great jazz quartet that's playing, and so you actually can play along doing these songs. Man, if I would have had this, I would have been practicing all the time, playing with all this, going through the tunes, learning tunes, rather than what I had to do, which is kind of play progressions into a cassette tape player and then try and play back over it. Anyway, if you're interested in this, this is the red button underneath your Ustream window right now. We're able to get a great deal on these with the book and then all of the 9 play-along CDs for $80. So it's great. Best price around. Check it out. If you're interested in getting some Christmas music and learning some of this, it's a great way to do that. Single note melodies, very accessible. Plus, you've got the great fun of playing with the jazz quartet behind it as well. All right, enough of all that. Enough of talking. Let's answer some of your questions. Let's see. We have Rich Litch is saying, Johnny, show us how you incorporate dives on the whammy bar.
Oh, goodness. Well,
can you make that thing talk?
Yeah. You know, it's funny, man. Whammy bar stuff for me has been more of a form of expression, if you will, than just a trick that somebody would do.
Yeah.
So as far as showing you whammy bar tricks, I don't know. I mean, usually you'll get that from me when I'm on stage cranked up to warp factor 9 and playing at 90 knots and no smoke. I don't know if I could pull some stuff off for you right now.
Yeah.
Because it's where an amp needs to be at, you know, maxed out levels to get that kind of...
But you can do expression stuff with it where you're just kind of...
Yeah, I mean, for most of the time, like I'll take a simple like a pentatonic lick or like a blues scale lick, and, you know, like sometimes you'll hear me do like the old kind of... You know, like the old rockabilly kind of stuff, you know, when I end a song. So I love the whammy bar for that stuff, and Albert Lee uses it for that stuff.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to get into kind of what was actually what I do in the rock style stuff, I mean, I do actually the you know, kind of like the Satriani harmonic pulls and stuff like that. But you definitely need to get your amp cranked up for that in order for that to happen.
It's a little bit of a system. With feedback just at the right thing, and it's interacting with your guitar. It's hard to pull off in a quiet environment without getting that interaction between the amp and your guitar.
Yeah. But, you know, I do have fun using the whammy bar in my shows. So, and I'll be out touring again next year in 2014. So, you know, drop me an email at info@johnnyhiland.net. Was it Rich?
Rich was the one that asked that.
Rich, email me, bud, and I'll let you know if I'm going to be in a town near you, buddy, because I'd love to. And you know what? You can always catch me, too, man, like in between, like if I do a 90-minute Johnny set that I normally do. Man, sometimes guys will catch me after the show, and I'll be glad to show you that stuff. If I have my rig there and I'm cranked up and can do it for you, I'll be glad to show you how to do that stuff.
One of the things I've just been so impressed, Johnny and I have worked together for several years now in various different environments, and I've been so... impressed. You know, there's some players that you meet that are just brilliant players, but they don't really like teaching. don't really like explaining what they do. They're kind of secretive about that. Not with Johnny. Johnny has students. You've taught private students before.
I still teach privately, man, and I love doing that. It's a blessing.
The nicest folks are the ones that can sit down and show you what they're playing and say, hey, I'm just a guitar player just like you, but it's just like this. It's a little lick or whatever, and they're explaining it to you. And Johnny's had to overcome lots of things over the years.
I have, man, and I'm actually a little bit, on the jealous side because I was never able to have sources like this, like Legacy Learning, where I could sit down and see to learn from tablature or from, back then we had Guitar Player magazine where we'd catch a riff from Eddie Van Halen or something, and but I could never see anything like that, and so I was actually a lot like Steve. I would make my own rhythm tracks on a little tape deck and have to play back, and so being legally blind and learning guitar was not the easiest thing in the world, but be looking for the True Fire thing too, and of course Steve knows I'm always available to help out with anything that you guys do because I love teaching guitar. And again, I have really devised a way to teach what I do without actually adding a whole bunch of theory to it because my method is teaching to of what you're thinking on stage at the moment, or in the moment, if you will. And so sometimes you're in the heat of the moment. You don't have time to think of, will that be theoretically correct if I jump in and do this? Yeah. So I teach a little bit of a different way, and of course I have a high, low, low, high pattern that I teach by to for solo construction and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean anything I have, you guys are welcome to because guitar is just so fun, and
that's right.
And why not share? That's what it's all about.
Let's see. Matt Martin is asking. MSSC wants to know how to get the Jerry Reed sound.
Well, I would have to do a Myron video for him in order to make that happen, and there's a long story behind that, Steve, which I'll share with you after. But I have a little bit of an alter ego named Myron, and he has a last name that I can't say over on air. But he's a cool guy, man. And so, Matt, thank you for your question. And matter of fact, folks, that's Matt Martin from Martin Six String Customs, who does all my signature wiring harnesses I was telling you about.
So you know who that is.
So I know who Matt is, and I'll get you for this one, Matt. Thanks.
Had another question up here. Talk about blues phrasing.
That is something very interesting for me to talk about, and I'll explain why. Most people, when they think of a country guitar player, would think, all you get is just constant picking right in your face. Yeah. Now that's what it is. Yeah. Chickin Pickin is a very in-your-face, aggressive style. Now when you're playing blues, you can't play blues like a chicken picker. You have to get in a different frame of mind. And Steve, I mean, being an adept jazz player like yourself, you have to think completely different as a blues player. Yeah. So blues phrasing for me is all about how I'm feeling at the given moment. Some people will come out to my show and say, "Wow, Johnny was on fire tonight," and I'll go, "Yeah, but I just wasn't feeling that blues tune the same way, you know." Yeah. And so every night you have a different emotional feel about the song. But phrasing for me with blues is all about kind of how a vocalist would sing. So if I'm going to hold a bend, it's got to have vibrato that's nice and creamy. And then when I phrase a lick, or it would be more like a vocalist. Now, it almost sounds like you're saying a sentence there. Like you're wanting to say something. So blues phrasing for me has taken on a different light in the respect that I treat blues with a lot of respect when I play. And don't be afraid to breathe. Let the note breathe. Let the solo breathe. And that means even if you're doing the growly stuff, you can let notes growl and you can bend them crazy places. Now see, I got a nice little growl overtone in the what position am I? Okay, that's just my middle pickup by itself. Yeah. I love these ECP pickups, man. They're awesome. But okay, I got a cool growl note. I like that. It makes me feel like oh yeah, the guitar's responding and it's doing what I need it to do. So when you find a note that growls at you, don't be afraid to hold it out there.
Yeah.
So to me, there is, you know, the vocalization, if you will, of what you're trying to express in blues, but there's also those really sweet notes that your guitar will deliver on the spur of the moment, and you need to let those go as well. So say we were to play even some kind of swing blues, you know. Now you have to be this way even on the faster style blues, you know, like you can actually play, like say you have a section where you're actually letting your solo breathe and things are moving and you're playing some standardized blues lines, and then you just want to go.
Yeah.
You feel like a race car that's just revving up. And you want to play some faster licks, go ahead. But allow the blues to kind of hit your heart and take you where it's going to take you versus all of what... I think if you try to overthink blues, it sounds too mechanical.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question.
What are some great blues players that you enjoy listening to?
Man, you know, it's funny. I'm a big, huge Chris Duarte fan.
Chris Duarte?
Chris Duarte is a Blues Barrow Records artist, and of course Mike Varney from Shrapnel Records, who I'm a part of. You know, Chris and I have gotten to hook up through Mike, and man, that guy is incredible. And, of course, I'm a big fan of Sonny Landreth as well. I love Sonny's style and slide playing. And but, you know, I like going like Duke Robillard. Fantastic player. But, of course, then I love, you know, the classics, the greats, you know, the legends. B.B. King, Albert King, Freddie King, Don King. No, I'm teasing. But, no, I love, you know, and, of course, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Who would not love Stevie? I mean, he was so expressive with his blues playing, and so, but don't be afraid to step out on a limb a little bit and try. I will actually buy, you know, records of blues bands I've never even heard before, just to hear how the guitar player will approach things, and you get a lot just by listening, folks. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Wow, we're kind of running on the down on the downhill slope here. Halftime 3 is asking, Johnny, do you play any acoustic guitar?
Yes, I do. I have a little bit. I have I've been a big fan of Godin guitars for the last couple of years, and live I was having trouble transitioning between, you know, a Silhouette and like I have a 1968 D35, and love the tone. I mean, Martin guitars are incredible, but I've been using an Acousticaster lately from Godin guitars that I love, and it's easy to transition to. And I also play a nylon string multi-act that I love. So, yeah. I do play acoustic.
And in fact, you've even got a DVD from way long ago. Yes. Bluegrass.
Oh, my goodness, man. That video was... It was painful for me. I'll just put it that way. It was... You know, I had really delved into the hybrid style when I moved to Nashville. Yeah. So when Arlen asked me to do the bluegrass video, it was so hard to just go back and flat pick. And, of course, I knew all the traditionalists out there, bluegrass players, you know, they're like jazz players, and that they have so much respect for that genre. And so I had to be respectful and play all flat. Boy, I'm telling you, that flat picking was hard, son. But thank you for your question. Yes, I love acoustic guitar.
Wonderful. All right. Well, we are kind of wrapping up, and we still need to give away something. We're going to give away one more thing. This electric. Let me take mine off here. We are giving the good folks at Epiphone have provided this Epiphone electric guitar player pack. So one of you lucky folks is going to win this great electric guitar from Epiphone. So it is very exciting. And there's a little amp that comes with it and some other stuff in there as well. So this is going to be somebody's Christmas present. So
that is awesome, man.
There you go. There you go. If whoever wins this, if you're interested in having Johnny sign it, let us know. I don't want him to sign it before you say you're interested in having him sign it, because if not, you know, you could...
Well, and you know, folks, there's time enough, too, for Santa Claus to also bring you a Martin 6-string Customs harness for that guitar, too. You know, put it on your Christmas list, folks.
There you go. All right, the winner of this guitar and the electric guitar pack is Sleeping Angel. Sleeping Angel, you have just won a great Epiphone acoustic or Epiphone electric guitar pack. So congratulations, Sleeping Angel, which I believe is Maria. Is that right, Maria? Send us in your information at service@legacyinstruction.com, and we will get this out to you. Hopefully, it may even get there in time to land underneath the tree.
Wow, so, cool.
There you go.
Congratulations to you.
If you want Johnny to sign that, Sleeping Angel, say something in the chat so that we can get him to sign that before he goes. But I don't want to do that unless, you know, in case you're giving it away or something like that. So there you go. All right, couple last-minute things, and then we'll play a few more things and get out of here. We have a recording challenge going on this month. Ben Bob, one of our guys, puts these recording challenges together every month, and we've been doing this for 9 months now. This is the 9th recording challenge, and this one, usually they have a theme. This one is for Bunk Squawk, which is Bunk Squawk is one of our great discussion board members, one of our great guitar family, and this is for Bunk Squawk and Jim. Kind of, you can read the story on the website, all about what this is about. If you're interested in being part of the recording challenge, I would encourage you to do that. There's something that embeds the music learning inside of you when you go through the recording process, and Johnny will attest to this as well. Mm-hmm. There's something about practicing, and then there's something about getting out of practice mode and getting into performance mode. And you learn a lot from both. So that's important. So if you're in part of that, check that out. Also, we have our Learn to Master Guitar Christmas CD, which is being put together right now. You can look at on the discussion board, and everybody's submitting stuff. I'm submitting stuff to it. And cool. We put it together every year, and they send it to me. It gets to here like at the 22nd or something. So as soon as I get it, it doesn't matter what skill level you're at. That's the thing. I want you to be aware of that. Don't look at Johnny or at these great players and say, oh, gosh, why am I even trying? You know, it's just no good. Don't think of it that way. It's a road, and everybody is at different places along that road. There was a time when Johnny first picked up a guitar, and I bet you didn't play hybrid picking when you first picked it up.
No, sir, I did not.
I bet there was lots of years where you stunk up the place.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that was the favorite line in the Hiland house, man. I remember when I first got my first electric and amplifier, Mom's favorite line was, Johnny, you turn that down. And then the next time it was, don't make me send your father in there. It almost sounds like a Myron line, Matt.
Yes. So anyway, be a part of those opportunities. It's a great thing for you to be a part of. We have a lot of good lessons coming up on Gibson Skills House, which is the white button underneath your Ustream window. I've got a lesson on how to play harmonics on guitar. We also have a style lesson on playing Silent Night. We learned Joy to the World last time on Live Lesson. And you can go on this week into Skills House and learn Silent Night. So we're trying to squeeze into you enough Christmas songs so you can play, because sure as shooting, you're gonna have all the family over at Christmas time, and somebody's gonna turn to you and say, hey, haven't you been learning guitar? Why don't you play us something? And they're all sitting there in the living room, and Aunt Susie and Grandpa and all that stuff. And so we're trying to give you tunes to play so you can do that. I also have one of the best power workouts, 10-minute power workouts we've done, is the finger flexibility workout. Oh, and let me show you this. Johnny, put your hand up here like this.
All right.
All right. Now, Johnny's hands are no bigger than mine. In fact, a little bit smaller than mine. Okay? And everybody says, "Oh my goodness, I can't play guitar because my fingers are too fat. They don't fit on the guitar. How can we do that? I guess I just wasn't meant to be a guitar player."
I don't know about that, Steve. I have steak fries for fingers. So. You know,
Johnny's fingers are as round as anyone I've known, and yet he is able to get the facility on the guitar like an Olympic gymnast. So all that for you to say, don't give up. Your fingers will find a way.
Yes,
they will find that sweet spot on the neck to where they can play those chords and play these things. I know you look at them and you think there's no way that finger's going to be able to get out of the way. Your fingers will find a way. Trust me. I've been doing this a long time, teaching a lot of people.
And then once your fingers find their way, then you can actually tell your wife, "Honey, you know, this neck's kind of, you know, I really like to have that Strat up there." And then your guitar collection becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Amen, right? I'll tell you, I'm starting to preach to y'all now. But no, it's you know, it's always wonderful to have different guitars that feel different, so that you can play certain ways. And
it's important. It's important. Don't be discouraged with that. A lot of folks get discouraged with that. Don't be discouraged. Johnny's a wonderful example of your fingers will find a way. If the music is inside of you and you want to get it out, your fingers will find a way to do that. We've also got a wonderful artist interview up there with Will McFarlane.
Oh, wow.
Musicians Hall of Famer.
Yes, sir.
From the Swampers down in Muscle Shoals.
Yeah, buddy.
Alabama.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Anyone who's in the Musicians Hall of Fame didn't get there by accident. And so Will McFarlane is on the artist interview this week. And then also one of our jazz teachers is teaching I Got Rhythm. Great song. Great song. We will have a live lesson next week, which will be the 17th. And it's just going to be an open talk, and I'm going to try and teach you another Christmas song as well. Before we play one last song, which is I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. Is that what we did?
Christmas,
okay.
Sure.
Keep in mind Johnny's website, johnnyhiland.net, and all of the resources there. Check that out. Check out the blues course as well. Check out if you're looking to learn Christmas songs, we got a great deal on this, and we will... that's the red button underneath there. Check that out as well. We've given away all kinds of things. We need to play one more thing to get us out of here.
Can we give some CDs away yet?
Oh, we need to give away. We gave away one of yours. Let's give away another one.
Let's give another one away.
All right. We're going to give away another one of Johnny's All Fired Up CD.
See, I know what it was. Steve wanted this one for himself, folks. I see how that is.
No, you already gave me one. You gave me one last time you were here.
Okay, excellent.
I love it. In fact, I play that, and I play Loud and Proud. Loud and Proud is what's in my CD player right now.
Wow. I don't even have a copy of that, Steve.
Oh, come on. It's great. All right, the winner of this is BKD60. BKD60, you have just won Johnny's All Fired Up CD, and wow. I think Johnny they must have had a deal. He was getting paid by the note, because this one has some,
some chicken picking on
chicken picking on this one.
Yes. And actually, you know what, Steve? I'll send an autographed picture with those CDs, too.
Wonderful.
Won those.
Wonderful. We've got that, and we will get that to him. Send us your information at service@legacyinstruction.com. It's been a wonderful time having you here with us. Thank you, John.
What a wonderful opportunity, Steve. Thank you, buddy.
You have overcome so many things and are just one of the best players on the planet.
Man, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. And, man, I just appreciate you guys from Legacy having me back, and I just want to take this opportunity and wish everybody a happy holiday season.
Yes. And
go check out martinsixstringcustoms.com, electricitypickups.com, musicman.com. Right. I have a CEC amplifiers.com. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but, you know, gear is fun. But you know what makes gear fun is when you love to play.
That's right.
That's what makes all this gear and everything else so important to us, is when you have the love and the passion behind it. And so I'm just blessed to have it, and and Steve as well. And it's all great friends that we're in a big guitar community all together.
That's right.
So happy holidays to you, and I hope old Santa treats you good.
All right. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Well, let's see how we remember doing this. First, let me kick off some distortion. We don't need that.
Yeah, we're going to go jazz.
I'm dreaming of a rock Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. Good night, everyone. Have a great holiday season. We will see you next week.